Hey guys, I am Ibigandscary. I'm bringing you another StarCraft 2 replay, this time featuring Nightsback. In the top left corner playing our purple Zerg, and in the bottom right we have Tyreal, our green Protoss. I don't know what league Tyreal is in, but it looks like Nightsback is in Diamond. This is off of the GameFAQS tourney currently going on, hosted by Bone Carlos. We're in the best of one stage. I think this might be the losers bracket because I seem to remember casting a game with Tyreal in it. However, we're on Ohana, which means it's best of one, regardless of what bracket we're in. So basically, it's take it or lose it. It's a ZVP. So we're probably going to see a Forge Fast expand out of Tyreal, and then a lot of expansions out of Nightsback, provided that they go the more traditional route. I've always thought it was kind of weird how it goes like that, because Zerg is so hyper aggressive and Protoss is so very passive. But then whenever you have the matchup against them, instead of going super aggressive, they both grab a wicked number of expansions, and you have this huge economy battle. It's kind of weird. It's difficult to play out, but it's definitely entertaining to watch. So we're going to watch Nightsback with bated breath to see what exactly the pathway that he's going to take, the pathway his drone is going to take as it heads off into the common ground, is down to spot that forge. We can see the pylon on the low ground. Tyreal definitely going for that Forge Fast expand, unless he's going for some sort of shenanigans where he's psyching out Nightsback, but that's unlikely. No gas from Tyreal just yet, nor for Nightsback. Every time I see that, I want to say Nickelback, and I don't know why. I do not enjoy their music, nor does the internet, though. So there is that. Spawning pool dropping for Nightsback, going a little bit more passive, a little bit more cautious against Tyreal. We can see the Forge Fast expand, though, so he's going to know that there's going to be an expansion out of Tyreal any day now. Got the photon cannon being built right behind the forge too. Very important to get that started now so that it finishes. Even if you scout a super early spawning pool with the photon cannon going down, those Zerglings will be popping out just as your probe hits. So instead of throwing down the Nexus, which you have the probe in position for, you can just throw down like a gateway and a cybernetics core to complete that wall off, and you're relatively safe. And you've also got a small edge because the economy from the Zerg is going to be shunted, or stunted, I guess. Yeah, it'd be stunted because of the super early pool. And you'll still be ahead. Tyreal's got that 400, though, and we're going to see the Nexus drop any minute. Yeah, there we go. There goes the Nexus. Hatchery being dropped for Nightsback. He's going to want to grab another expansion just to stay ahead. Zerg really needs to stay ahead, at least one base over Protoss, unless they're going to be very aggressive. And with this Forge Fast expand, with the wall off getting started by Tyreal, it's going to be difficult for him to be very aggressive. Ohana does afford us the destructible debris on the left side, secondary pathway into the home base, but again, it's going to be delayed because of those rocks there. So we're not going to see a lot of aggression coming out of Nightsback, I don't think. He's got a couple Zerglings on the field, but that's more for scouting than anything else. It looks like he's going to be taking the third already, going to want to take down the destructible debris of his own side, just so he can reinforce that area very quickly in case Tyreal gets out some sort of warp prism. We can see the double gas going down for Tyreal, so he'll be working towards that tech eventually, but it's pretty standard to get at least 4 gas on 2 base. That's the most gas possible. That's why I'm laughing, guys. That's funny. No. It's at least 3 gas, but it just depends on the build you're going. And it looks like Nightsback is finally... Does he have any gas at all? He does not have any gas. He'll be getting it, though, very soon. We're going to see a Roach Warren go down, or maybe he'll go straight to Lair. Regardless, he's going to need gas to get out those Roaches or get out that tech. Zerg is very gas heavy in the mid to late game. Early game, not so much. You can usually get by with just 1 or 2 geysers, but once you get those Roaches up, Hydras, and even if you're going to consider some form of air, you need a ridiculous amount of gas. 2 geysers being mined for Tyreal. He's going to have enough gas to get the tech out that he needs. Starting on Warp Gate, probably going to have another handful of gateways down soon. It's pretty easy to hold the gate at first with just a single Zealot and then maybe a Sentry to throw down a force field, but as time goes on, as the Roach numbers that you might be dealing with progresses, you need to start to consider about getting additional Sentries out on the field to hold the ramp with their force fields, or even Stalkers to do bonus damage against armor. So, you know, we've seen no aggression out of either player, but it's because it's been such a heavy economy game right now, pretty neck and neck in the Harvester count. The 2 Zerglings are going to town on the destructible rocks. It's going to be quite a while before those go down. A Roach Warren being built for Nightsback. He's got 2 gas up right now, probably going to get another 2 at the natural expand eventually as he techs higher. It'll be interesting to see if he goes with a Roach Hydra composition, which can be weak against the Colossi, or if he's going to go for a more Roach Ling sort of harassment tech, which can be helpful whenever Protoss is turtling. Hey, if he goes air, though, he's going to be in trouble with that Twilight Council on the ground. Blink will be coming out for Tyreal, and if that is the direction he's going to take this Twilight Council, then that Blink will help Tyreal defend against mutas in the air. The other possibility is that Twilight Council's out, so we can get some Zergling, some Zealots and some Roaches to deal with the heavy Zergling army. So Tyreal's really opening up the pathways that he can take as far as tech is considered. Let's see, 4 gateways right now, so that's 5 total, including the one on the wall. Warp is done, and level 1 is also finishing. So that's a pretty standard opening for Tyreal. The only real difference is he's got that Twilight Council out, and he's got a lot of different opportunities. Oh, it looks like he's going Blink. But again, it opens up many different possibilities. You can get High Templars out later to deal some AoE, DTs out to do some harassment, and also with the Blink, there's another pathway of harassment right there. Those Stalkers are incredibly mobile. But we can check out the economy tab. We can see that Zerg definitely has a leg up. We were neck and neck just a couple seconds ago, but now we've got a 15 harvester count lead for Nightsback, and he's going to be spending that money very, very quickly in a lot of different areas. He's got double Evo chambers coming up. He's got a lot of Zerglings, speed finishing, Pneumatide Carapace, and a Spire. Wow, look at that. So it is going to be a more air-based harassment play. Tyreal not blowing a bunch of money on units to defend his base. You can see just 5 Stalkers, but that's going to be useful with the Blink. I think Tyreal is not going to be trying for a 3rd base. I think that would be rather suicidal. It looks like he's going to go for a straight Blink-based build. Those Stalkers are going to be very successful against the mutas. However, if Nightsback chooses very carefully when he wants to engage, if he engages specifically the probes with his mutas, he could decimate 1 or 2 of these lines, and basically Tyreal's economy would be cut in half with just 1 well-placed strike. We don't see any cannons down at the mineral line to defend against that. It looks like a very speedy Overlord is zipping in just to see that there's no static defenses. He sees the Twilight Council, he sees all of the gateways, he sees that Tyreal is going to be going for a Blink tech. I mean, that's basically all that screams, especially with so many Stalkers down holding the ramp. There's no other units except for that Zealot out right now. Another huge warp in of Stalkers. A lot of Zerglings. Their speed will help them to chase down those Stalkers, but you know, they can melt pretty quickly. You can see that there's no upgrades for them, and the +2 is just now finishing for Tyreal, so he's going to have a significantly intimidating army to deal with. Nightsback is a little bit in trouble. He's got 9 mutas on the way. He's really going to have to make these count, not waste them against the Stalkers, but really engage the probes later on. An Infestor Pit also being built, which will be very useful. 2 upgrades just now getting started, but it looks like Tyreal is going to be forcing the engagement shortly, pushing out with a large number of very mobile Blink Stalkers, a huge plethora of Zerglings, but a couple of Roaches spattered in too, but these mutas are right by the main army. He really wants these down to engage the probes. Still no cannons defending that either of these expansions. Those mutas could do quite a lot of damage, especially with the Stalkers making their presence known by pushing up onto the creep, being scouted by that creep. The Zergling's positioning, no, he's keeping those mutas right there. This could be ugly. The Zergling's pushing in there. 1-1 is not done. Armor also starting, pushing in very hard into a whole line of Zealots. You can see that the resources loft is pretty much neck and neck, but then as the Zerglings fall and stop absorbing all that damage, the very vulnerable mutas are left alone, and they have to pull back. You can see that they are in a great deal of red and orange for them. A lot of the Stalkers survived. I'm pretty sure he didn't lose more than a handful of them. A quick blink right underneath the mutas so they can target them down. Some reinforcing Zerglings streaming in every now and then, but they get mopped up by the Stalkers. All of a sudden the drones have to get pulled, and we can see that the resources lost tab, which was neck and neck just a couple of seconds ago, is now basically a 2-to-1 favor. Almost 4-to-1 favor for Tyreal. Pretty devastating attack there. Holy crap, 150. The majority of that's Zerglings, but a lot of that is also workers. 23 of them going down. Pretty devastating attack, even though the numbers of Stalkers has significantly been depleted. Another warp in of 7 Stalkers for Tyreal from a pylon placed down by the potential fourth. These stalkers are going to push up into the main and deal a death blow. I really feel like Nightsback would have still been in this game if he decided to use his mutas to decimate the probe line at Tyreal's home base. He may have forced Tyreal to expend that warping of 7 stalkers back at the home base to deal with those mutas, or maybe he would have forced Tyreal to pull back his entire army to protect his probes. But regardless, he would have been in some good shape as things are now. Another round of zealots or zerglings come in to crash themselves upon the stalkers, but with such a huge upgrade deficit, 0-2, and that armor just now finishing for Zerg. He's got to tap out eventually, right? He's gonna go. So, but it looks like Tyreal's going to advance to the second round, which is best of 3, and Nightsback is going to get knocked out of the tournament. If this is indeed the loser's bracket, it might not be. Evidently, I missed this my first time through, but it will be added to the playlist promptly. 16 supply to 82. Oh no, there's another attack down here. It looks like the probes got pulled. Those 7 stalkers didn't really move up to the main army, just decided to decimate the probe line down there. 80 minerals per minute. It's brutal. Spawn and pour gonna go down. You know what else is brutal is this heat. I don't know where you guys live, but it's been pretty hot here. It's not supposed to be this hot. You know the game is over when the caster's talking about weather. Hey, the Zerglings have finally mopped up all those stalkers, and it looks like the Zealots are going to take care of what's left. Are there any harvesters on the field? There are not. No harvesters on the field for Nightsback. Good game. Good game. Hey guys, that's it for me. If you have a game you want me to cast, you could PM me here or on Reddit. One way or another, I will see you guys later. I am Big and Scary.